Thanks. All right, and we're back with Millennium Live. Thank you for coming and joining us for our show number 4. We're really excited. I hope you are too. And behind us, we have fantastic Kiki Wow and Blake. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, thanks.
Great. We're so glad to have you here.
Happy to be here.
Okay, so what are you going to be playing for us today?
The Carmel River, I live in Carmel Valley, and it had dried up recently and until this last rain. So I wrote a song about the Carmel River drying up and needing rain, and thankfully after I was done, it rained.
Beautiful. That's awesome. That's like the rain dances that they do, except you got your own rain music.
I got my rain song on.
That's beautiful. Awesome. Well, you, sir?
Oh, well, I was just there to see it happen.
That's fantastic. Awesome.
I brought the rain as well.
That's great. All right, well then let's go ahead and get it started and let's see what you guys got going.
Thank you. Come and sit by the Carmel River, watch it trickle to the sea. See how nature feeds off the water for so for centuries. But no rain came, no water ceased to flow. Frogs and steelhead don't know where to go. Up in the hills is the San Clemente Dam. Together we hope to give nature a hand and release the water and release the water and release the water to preserve the land. The dam must come down. The dam must come down. The dam must come down, giving life to all around. Time to build, time to tear down, a time of trouble so we can learn to work things out. Only together can we get anything done to get us through our days underneath the sun. Oh, Great Spirit, we humbly thank you for all of nature's beauty, reflections of you. We are the ones who care to want to see things through. Give us guidance and help to see us through. The dam must come down. The dam must come down. The dam must come down, giving life I have another song I just wrote, so I thought I would try it out. Nothing like laying it on the line. This is a song I wrote for my daughter. She's a video editor, and it's always good to have a video editor around. And now I'm in a room full of them. But we went to this songwriting class, and the assignment was to go outside in nature and hear some kind of a pattern, come back and make a song out of it. So this is what I got. Oh, daughter, my dear, sorry to hear. It hurts so much to be deceived when you believe. If you need to cry, I won't ask why. Go ahead and let it out, scream and shout. I wish I could find some words to say. Remember when you talked with trees, heard the song of every breeze, knew that every star was there to guide you. Tune your heart to nature's beat, trust the earth beneath your feet, and feel the love inside you. Feel the love inside you. I can't spare you from pain, just share wisdom gained. Take it in that I know you will pull through. Yes, when you were small, whenever you'd fall, pick yourself up, jump back in, start again. I wish I could find some words to say. Remember when you talked with trees, heard the song of every breeze, knew that every star was there to guide you. Tune your heart to nature's beat, trust the earth beneath your feet, and feel the love inside you. Feel the love inside you. Oh, daughter dear. Thanks.
What's the next song, Keith?
The next song, we'll do a summer song. Since
Summer song.
It feels like summer.
It's almost summer. Gosh, it is summer.
And
Might as well be.
this is a song off my first record called Back to Nature. And feel free to tap along. 1, 2, 3. Kick off a shoe, open a cold beer, Corona with a twist of lime. It's the hottest, muggiest time of the year. But lately I've been thinking, what am I doing with my life? Working a job I don't love most of the time. In the summertime. In the summertime. I know I'm honest, hardworking, and climbing the corporate ladder is the least of my cares. Well, lately I've been thinking, what am I doing with my life? Trying to make ends meet with parallel lines. This is a song called Step by Step. You got to take one day at a time, one step at a time. So.
Let's do it, man.
I'm giving my thanks, I'm giving my love. I'm making connections around and above. I'm taking my steps up to higher ground. I'm making my heart and my mind my peaceful abode. Step by step, we walk a little closer to our goal. Step by step, we walk a little closer to what we need to know. Step by step, we gain the strength to move us forward, on and on. Step by step, you can take your time, I'll get there quickly. Keep your eye on your goal, free of strife now, that's the trick. I'm giving my time, I'm taking my time. Never walking alone, friends on the other side. Just a thought away, just a step away. I'm doing my best to make it an awesome, beautiful day. All I can say, I'm giving my thanks, I'm giving my love. Never walking alone. Oh, oh, oh. I'm taking my steps up to higher ground. I'm going inside until peace is the only sound around. Oh, 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 oh. Step by step, we walk a little closer to our goal. Step by step, we walk a little closer to what we need to know. Step by step, we gain the strength to move us forward, on and on. Just one more step, step by step.
Everybody.
Just one more step, step by step. Just one more step, step by step. Just one more step, step by step. Don't you think that song needs that?
A little horse. Well, let's get off the trail now. I'm getting thirsty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing.
Emily,
That was
back.
so great. Okay, so tell us, how did this whole thing start? Like, how did you first start getting into music? Was it like something that you were just like born with, that itch, or was it like something that developed through time?
No, I think I was actually very afraid to be in front of people, so I had to work through that and take some public speaking courses and just get out there and do it, no matter how afraid you are. And what you learn is you live through it, and you get a little better. You have to practice, getting in front of people because they're all looking at you.
All the time.
Can make you fall apart, So it's a matter of, thinking about the song. But when I was 19, I lived in Ohio, and they didn't have American Idol. So if you meant something about business, you had to leave and go to New York or LA. So my band bought a pantyhose truck, and we packed it full, and we came out West Young Band. And it's been a series of trying to make it ever since. 20 years in LA, and I moved here about 6 years ago. And now I put on concerts all the time for other people. And I book about 5 venues. And I'm always doing showcases. So if you play and you want to get out there and practice, being in front of people and just fine-tuning your performance skills, I'd love to accommodate that.
That's awesome. So you can kind of hear in the words that you use in your different songs, you know what I mean, that you have different inspirations that you pull from for creating that music. And
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing. I mean, I feel personally like music is such a very like open thing, you know, and so you can really utilize that as a really great outlet for different emotions.
Oh, yeah.
There was one that you had, the one that you just played. What is the name of that song?
Step by Step.
Step by Step. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I like that. I can definitely hear a lot of what you're talking about now in that song,
Yeah.
even.
You know, I just write from life experience, and I think that's the best place to ever come from is your own experience. And so there's some crazy stories, but you never know what audience you're playing in front of. So, you know, these were my mild-mannered ones.
Very cool. And you, sir,
And
Blake?
you?
Oh, geez, percussion, man.
Yes.
I got really inspired early on, junior high by Ken Rakes, and then again in high school under Rob Clevin. And the freedom to just experiment and have some fun transferred over. You know, it's like everything in life. If you really study hard or you really work at it, you get better. Anything you do, you get better at it. And that's really how it all happened.
Yep.
Just following through on, you know, freedom, rigidly.
Rigid
Yeah.
freedom.
Rigid freedom, something like that.
That makes total sense, though, for anybody that's like really a dedicated artist, you know what I mean? Because that's why you're dedicated. You know, it takes a lot of persistence and a lot of like staying on top of what you're doing to
Yeah.
really, you know, get there, to see the end result. And
Yeah.
it's very difficult at times, especially for artists, you know.
Well, life
so.
really pulls you in different directions. So if you have a main course that you want to stay on, you really have to do it every day because it kind of like you grow comfortable with the neck, or you just get more comfortable.
Do
But
that
you got
again?
to do it every day. Life happens, you know. You have kids and you have things that happen, and so stay on course. But first, you have to draw where you're going.
Yeah, that's great, and you can definitely hear it in your music, so that's amazing.
Thank
This
you.
is your
So-
4th show?
Our 4th show, yeah. We're so glad to
Fantastic.
have you guys. It's
Yay,
great.
of course.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming out, you guys. You're wonderful. Thank you for answering my questions. You guys
you
are so
so
great.
much.
All
Thanks, you
right.
guys.
All right, and now we've got Aaron Parks. Say hello, Aaron Parks. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
All right. So, what are you going to do for us today?
I'm going to play a couple songs that I wrote myself.
Awesome. So, these next couple songs that you're going to do are completely original, is what you're
Yes.
telling me. That's amazing. All right, are you ready to rock?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's show us what you got.
Thank you.
Tell us, how did you get into music?
I started playing guitar when my uncle turned me onto it. He's a guitar player, so he was like, hey, check this out. So,
What was like the first band that like really grabbed your attention?
probably the Red Hot Chili Peppers. My dad used to always play them around me.
Nice, very cool. So where would you say a lot of like your inspiration for your music comes from?
Inspiration from my music comes from anything from bands like Black Sabbath and Metallica to like Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like that.
Very cool, awesome. So the 2 songs that you just did, do they have names?
No.
That's awesome. So where did they come from? Like where did you start making them? Like where was like your head when you were creating these songs?
Both of those I was pretty happy. Whenever I'm in a really good mood or a really bad mood, I usually document it through songs.
Nice. Do you do any like shows or performances like with your music or?
I've performed a couple times with my band, but nothing by myself.
Nice. I also hear through the grapevine you might be possibly scoring a major feature film.
Maybe.
Maybe, possibly, yes. Maybe A Tree in the Valley, maybe? Is that
Yep.
yeah, that's incredible. So you were actually like helping score an entire feature-length film.
Uh-huh.
That's really amazing. How old are you?
17?
17, and you were tracking an entire movie. That is amazing. I'm blown away right now. I think I should give you extra kudos for that. All right, well, thank you again, Aaron, for coming out. You're super amazing, and we can't wait to see what you got going on in A Tree in the Valley.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So I'm over here in the studio with Iris Rivas. All right, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic. So tell me, what do you do?
I'm a photographer and graphic designer, but today I'll be showing my photography.
So I hear you also came with a video of some sort.
I did. I have a video to share.
Awesome. What is this video about?
This video is just basically a day in my life when I'm doing my photography. It's located in the Old Stage area, which is where I like to photograph a lot. And yeah.
Awesome. Let's take a look at that. That's awesome. Man, that's great. Man, you look beautiful out there, you know, taking your shots. It's amazing. So what is your like drive to create photos? Like what makes you want to do photos?
You know, I'm from Salinas and I'm pretty inspired by our area, you know. A lot of people like to have like negative feelings about like our area, you know, and they really don't think that there's much to do around here, and I like a lot of what is in Salinas. A lot of what I can capture in a camera is beautiful, and I get inspired by that just by seeing things in our community that can just be a photograph. And
that's awesome. Yeah. So you've brought some pieces for us to look at here.
Yeah, I have some pieces to share. This is actually black and white photography. I was taking class at the time. And black and white photography is film photography, and it's a little bit difficult to deal with, but these are some shots that I did. And yeah.
Awesome. What's this guy doing? What's going on here?
So this is actually, it's funny, this is actually one of my favorite ones. A lot of people from Salinas say that there's not much to take pictures of, but this is actually a photograph taken in Salinas, and it's a barn out in Old Stage Road, and it was during the winter time. There was a lot of water in that area, and it was a nice mirror picture.
Yeah, I can see that. That looks really pretty down here. Let's take a look at one of these other guys. Let's see. Oh, nice horses.
Yeah, of course. Salinas is an ag place, so you see a lot of like livestock out there. Horses are one of the things that you see in the area, so I felt
compelled.
Compelled to photograph.
That's amazing. Let's see what else do you hear. Oh, whoops.
Upside down. So,
there you go.
yeah, this is a macro shot kind of my longboard. I longboard, so I mean, with photography, you want to capture everything, even if it's part of your lifestyle, make an art out of it. And one of the things I do is I longboard and I do photography, One of the best things you can do is travel on foot and you find an image, and I found one here with my longboard.
That's like totally accurate because, I mean, if you're in a car, you just like zoom past everything.
Yeah, you zoom past everything. Like you're passing everything that could be an inspiration.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like that. I like that you brought that up. That's neat.
This one is just a close-up shot of a flower.
Yeah, because we like flowers.
We like flowers.
This one's neat. I like
Yeah,
this
this one is actually a different kind of photography. It's sabatier, so it turns your photograph into kind of like a negative. It takes a while to do in the darkroom. All of these photographs were done in a darkroom. I definitely encourage people to take a class in the darkroom. It's something that's kind of being
like phased out,
outdated. But I always encourage the darkroom because you experience like the old Photoshop days, like this is where it originally happened. So.
Yeah. That's neat. I like the shadows that you got going on.
Yeah, and
in
that's
this one.
basically what you have to do in photography. You kind of have to take things out of context. Some people just want to quickly snap stuff and this is that, but you have to be patient and just kind of look at things in a different perspective and try to tell your story or tell what you're looking at to another person as best you can through photography.
So as a professional photographer, how do you feel about Instagram and all of those kinds of things?
Well, I wouldn't consider myself a professional because I'm still always learning, but if you must. I feel like Instagram and all of these new apps that are coming out are really good. Before I used to think that it was just just something that people are doing and kind of bringing the art of photography, not to shame, but kind of making it a little bit whatever, I guess. But now I'm just Instagram's really good. All of those things that are on our phones now are great practice, especially for people who have an eye for photography. It's
like a baby step, maybe.
It's a baby step, maybe not even a baby step, because some people on Instagram, they're making stuff work on there.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, it can happen.
Huh.
And I mean, phones today have really good cameras.
So would that be something that you encourage as well, cameras as well?
Yeah,
on phones?
I've always encouraged cameras on phones, any type of camera. What they like to tell us when we're studying photography is just the camera doesn't define the artist, People always like to say I have a Canon, I have a Nikon, I have this, and it's you could have the most expensive equipment in the world, but what you do with it is what really matters.
Yeah, well, thanks for asking me to come on today. I really appreciate it. Have a chance to share my art. I wasn't sure what really to bring here, so I just I grabbed a few things, some of my older pieces. So this one here was done specifically for an exhibit that I curated a couple years ago entitled Monstro. There's actually another piece to it that goes to it, but I couldn't bring it. It's much larger. Sort of like a theme of nightmares.
Very cool. So I know that you've kind of got a small video that you brought with us today to
right,
kind of talk about, which is super fantastic, and I'd love to see it. Kind of what does that kind of talk about? What is it about?
I believe it's a video of me explaining what my art is about and sort of my philosophies about art.
That's cool. Let's take a look at that.
I probably knew how to draw before I started drawing, before I know how to write. Probably started drawing before I know how to write. That's kind of who I am. I guess the way that art has affected me, it's very difficult to pinpoint how art has affected you. It's like saying, how has gravity affected you? How has having sunlight hit you every day affected you? You don't know because that's what you know every day. But I feel that art should be honest and uncensored and raw. I think that art is an imitation of life, and life should never be traded in for just the representation of itself. This is one of my favorite ones. I'm drawing at the Bread Box, the Alice House Center, and this was kind of a breakthrough for me because I didn't care about the drawing. It's on paper, and it's folded, and it's a bunch of scribbles, and it came out spontaneously without any planning. But it was honest. It was exactly what I want to do. It was what they call like surrealism was all about when it started. It was all about just subconsciously drawing.
Awesome. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
amazing.
So in your video, you talked a little bit about, being really honest with your art, being very uncensored. Why do you think that that's so important in your art?
I believe that art is, obviously we have that saying, art is an imitation of life, right? And it sort of gets deeper as art continues to develop over the years. There's more layers to art. So I feel that I'm not only imitating life itself, but all the other artists who have come before me. So primarily what I do is painting, right? So painting was something like discovered by cavemen, right? So cavemen are painting on walls and stuff, and obviously what I do is a lot different. They had to find pigments, they had to actually rub out flowers and figure out how to get colors. Today we're pretty spoiled. We could just go to Michael's, we could get any pigment we want, right? Any color in the rainbow. So it's not quite the same. I try to keep that in mind when I'm doing my paintings. To a certain extent, visual art is dead. Really, we were talking about Instagram before with Iris. Google is the best painter that there is. You go in there, you put in whatever word you want, and instantly it'll give you millions of images, right? So you sort of have to go into this primitive art, and with that in mind, that even though it's sort of primitive and it's really just paint rubbed on cloth, we're still living in this modern world.
So you were talking about Monstro earlier, and about that this had come from there. So what was the kind of the idea that you came up with that this is kind of based on?
So the whole exhibit was sort of based on the fact that when I started to draw, it was still something I loved. Probably I even had a deeper love for it when I was just a little kid, but I couldn't really draw well. It wasn't I hadn't developed that skill to the point that I have it now. And so I'd be very proud of my drawings, and I'd show them to my mom, and she'd be like, ew, like, why are you drawing monsters? Why are you? She would speak Spanish. Oh, estás dibujando monstruos. And I was like, well, to me, they're not monsters. To me, I'm very proud of them. And maybe sometimes the subject matter might literally be that I'm drawing a monster, but to me, it's beautiful. So that exhibit sort of stemmed from that, and that's why we called it Monster.
That's really cool. I like that. I like that idea. You've got a couple of other ones here hiding. Let's see here.
Right, yeah. So this one here, the same sort of idea of trying to keep things modern, but still having a consciousness of the past. So this speaks to urban, sort of an urban slavery, where we don't have slaves like we did in Egyptian days, but we are still slaves to a lot of things. We're slaves to culture, we're slaves to money, and as you grow older, instead of becoming more liberated from these things, you become more enslaved by these things. So this was sort of how do you describe that with pictures, right? So I got this woman tied up, right? And if you notice down, like at the bottom, we got some circuitry. It's like the modern technology. And despite all this modern technology, there's still a lot of suffering. Just here in the U.S., You know, you get a felony, you lose your right to vote. But there's so many people in prison nowadays that we're almost getting to the point where so many people are taking their rights to vote away that we're almost to the same point that we were before the civil rights movement to give everyone the rights to vote. So there's like these things. It's modern day, and we're living in this world, but there are sort of skewed things that don't seem right. And that's sort of the things that I try to shed light on.
So I kind of like the bottom here where you kind of have it looks like a tree kind of, and like the roots are kind of going through
right.
over here. So what's going on here is what I want to know.
Originally, the design was very different when I started, and I like to work organically. As I go through the piece, I see it evolve in my own mind. And originally, it was a baby. She was carrying a baby, and the idea was new life. But I didn't want it to be limited to just humans. I think all life is valuable. So I thought this tree sort of became the symbol for all of life.
Nice. That's really cool. I really dig that. Let's see. What else you got back here?
This one's sideways here. Should I hold it up?
I can help you.
Yeah. So this is sort of an homage to one of my favorite painters, Van Gogh, who was sort of the leader in this impressionist movement, right? And that's where all these little sort of painterly style brushstrokes come into play. So he's somebody that I admired, not really admired, but was fascinated by, right? Most of these artists that are famous in history are very tragic figures themselves, and that lends to their story. So this is just kind of an homage to him, sort of me tipping my hat to that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like that. You have this whole like little eyeball thing going on here. I've seen some of your other work, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the token Jacob Estrada.
Right, that's the signature. If you notice, I don't really sign my work. I don't title my work. I want the image to speak for itself. And today we're in this total saturation of imagery and art. You know, before it was just a select group of people who were artists or who could understand art. But as time goes on, we have art everywhere. Images that communicate ideas, a stop sign, handicap parking, right? As you look around the room, everything is this image trying to tell you something. So I like to keep these images pure. This is not something that's just giving you a message, stop right now, here's the exit. It's not a sudden, like, blunt word or idea. It's
Whatever you want to make it.
Yeah, it's something that you want to linger on. You want to kind of decipher.
I like that. That's really cool. These are all really amazing pieces, and I really
you.
appreciate you coming out because this is incredible, and I'm sure anybody watching is like really, really impressed at how amazing these pieces are. All right, and now we've got not last, not least, but the most fantastic, super amazing Ricardo Garcia, aka M7. Come on over.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon, Emily. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How you feeling?
Pretty good, actually. You know, it's been a long day worth of work, but I'm here to kind of celebrate the end of the evening with you guys. So thank you for having me.
Awesome.
It's a
Thank you
pleasure.
so much for being here. We're really stoked. I'm pretty stoked.
I'm stoked.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
All right. Well, I like to MC. We do workshops within hip hop, so graffiti, you know, MCing, breakdancing. Not so much DJing, but making beats. So, you know, it's kind of all encompassing with all those different things.
Awesome.
So from that, it kind of, we interject, as an MC, we interject, you know, cultura, you know, indigenous culture. We talk about technology, kind of a lot of different topics. So we'll see what I get a chance to share with you guys today.
All right, great. Well, why don't we get a little taste of that now? I'm anxious. I want to see.
All right. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of acapella, no beats. So hopefully it makes it easier to hear, you know, like what the lyrics are. So this first piece is just a dedication to the 4 directions. So it goes something like this.
Amazing.
I give my thanks to the east, Tlahuiztlampa where the sun heats. When the sun rise, don't sleep, awake. We've gotta fill ourselves with this mental energy. Quetzalcoatl, precious knowledge, what it means. So grab some facts, do the science, learn the math, walk the path. Soak it in, the red road is where we're at, check it. But grab a map just in case you're feeling lost. If you follow along, 4 movements from across. Up next, we face the west. Cihuatlampa where the sun sets. Tlazocamati for the love and respect. The sin la cash in the flesh, that's a physical test. So check the color of the skies when the sun sets. Sending the prayer to the women that cried when giving birth to a seed. Thank the earth for the feed. Maintain my energy. Chipetotek shed skin, but rebirth is underneath. That's right, it's underneath. As I face the north, now Mictlampa sets the force, and that's right on course. That's aligned with the needle on a compass. From this place and energy where our spirit gets set free, let be to reminisce upon guerreros and guerreras that have fallen. But I can hear their voices calling, still talking as they walking right beside us. Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror that guides us. Turn around, now we're facing Huitztlampa, symbolizing mood, attitude, that's that water. Or so to speak, that can be a state of mind, because it's giving us raw strength to learn to fly. Just like Huitzilopochtli, the hummingbird, the colibri, staying always on point. Like a heart that never skips a beat, learning how to move and fight with that warrior key. Do you know what I mean? Some of you guys? Yeah? All right. Let me keep going. There's one more piece to that, and it goes,
Sorry.
Tlazocamati o Mateo got me thinking all directions. This duality creation that illustrates perfection. Every corner's essence lets us see the clear reflection, because they're all inside of us, just like that manifestation. These energies form a balance that unite. Say they unify like melodies that give the breath of life. Earth, fire, water, wind. Every corner represents one of these 4 elements. It's 4 roots and culture, 4 colors of the corn, 4 seasons bringing change, 4 cycle to form, 4 chambers in your heart. Now it goes beyond words, just like beautiful art. But that's just the start, because it's more now. Check it. I know we're all connected. It's more than just one artist. It's a movement in a section. Every day is different. It holds something specific. So I take it to the basics. When we give in life, we think it. Thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty much amazing. I mean,
Thank you, Emily.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. That was amazing. All right. So where did this come from? I mean, I kind of heard a little bit of the Aztec mythology.
That's right. That's right.
A little bit of that in la Queche, baby.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that for the people at home who don't really know what in la
Right,
Queche and all that good stuff is.
So a lot of this comes from indigenous roots stemming from, Mexico, southern Mexico, central Mexico, northern Mexico, even northern, America for that matter, and even into Canada. So a lot of these symbols and phrases such as Quetzalcoatl and, Chipetotec and Tezcatlipoca, like that comes from Nahuatl, which is a language that was spoken, primarily in Mexico, but again, it's stretched up. And so as you look at different tribes, the Navajo, the Cherokee, the Mexica, the Chichimecas, the Olmeca, so on and so forth, a lot of the different 4 directions and the energies, they all correlate. And so even though they may call them by different names and by different energies, it's still the same kind of a concept and keeping it all unified. And they work together to give us life, so we always honor that, from any indigenous perspective you look at it.
That's beautiful. I love that. I really, really do. So with the the music that you create and then the workshop that you do with your students, I guess what would be like your aim in creating this and and putting all these like really great energies into the world?
My perspective is, hip hop has empowered me to just share a little bit of my perspective with the world. So whether somebody's a good artist visually, whether they're a good speaker, whether they're good with listening, then hopefully they find hip hop as a creative outlet. So hip hop's helped me to express myself. When I was in high school, I couldn't even say my name. I'd stutter so badly. And now I can grab the microphone and just, MC. And this is one of the things that I really like doing. So I like freestyling a lot, and I guess just like Jacob said a little while ago, don't be afraid to, try something and mess it up. And even if you don't get it right the first time, you'll get it right eventually. So, keep up the good work and the good effort. I think effort is really what speaks volumes.
Yeah, that's totally accurate. I completely agree. I'm really into the idea of like freestyling myself. I feel like it's
awesome. I'll
yeah.
pass the mic. Share the microphone, huh?
No, my freestyle is all in singing. It's all in singing. But the thing that I feel like freestyle kind of like dies out a lot.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we want to see the finished product. We want to see like what it sounds like with all the music and all of
Right.
that stuff, But I think that freestyle has this really beautiful ability for like the actual person who's doing it. It's very like liberating. I mean, I think.
So for the folks sitting at home, freestyling, the way that we understand it is you spontaneously rap on the spot. You come up with something, it's an improvisation, but at the same time, you're capturing that moment that's never gonna come back. And I think that's what makes it beautiful, is that it's free. It's not bound to something that you've written down or you've actually thought this out before. It's spontaneous, you're trying it out. It's like dancing, and it's lyrical. I mean, some people do it with ease, some people do it with a lot of effort. It took me a lot of effort to get to where I'm at, but here we are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Are you ever like in the car and you're like, oh man, I just get
All
it?
the time, yeah. And people give me dirty looks or weird looks, but it's like, hey, these are my songs. I'm not singing Miley Cyrus or Justin Bieber or whoever it is, these are original M7 songs, so yeah.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Well, keep up the amazing work, man. That's really great. And I think actually we should hear another one. And then after that, if you're feeling a little, spontaneous, maybe you want to try some of that freestyle.
Sounds good.
Give it to us.
So I'm going to do this one in Spanish, and it's called ganas. Ganas just means willpower, but it also means winning, ganar. So it goes, hoy día siento la verdad que fluye y me construye, navegando voy flotando y acercándome a las nubes. Siento ganas de querer y las ganas de expresarlo, ganas de decir, yo, it's all good, no hay nada malo y nada cambio, por cierto, nada gano si miento. Por eso entiendo que la vida soplará como el viento, porque nos lleva temporalmente. Como cosechas no se pueden aprovechar, sino primero las siembras, manteniendo todo paso por paso. It's okay to take our time, sometimes solo despacio, as long as you feel it. I said lo tienes que sentir, más allá de las palabras que se puedan decir. Es el momento para construir nuestro futuro, fighting back whatever's making us feel inseguros. Vamos, take a step forward y otro paso para adelante, saying, knock it out the park como ganaron los gigantes. Knock it out the park como ganaron los gigantes. Knock it out the park como ganaron los gigantes. What that just means is put your effort into it, put your heart into it and knock it out the park. One more verse and it goes, cuando sientes ganas, se derrama la flojera porque ganas con tu corazón abajo y a la izquierda. No es la moneda que alimenta este momento. Some say it's respirar while others say it's el aliento. Meaning, is it the noun or the verb we choose in action? If anything's preferred, don't let that be a distraction. We need to feel it like the heat from Tonatiuh when he's up in the summertime looking down at you. So stay balanced and aligned just like an equinox, so that the children of our children can be proud of our thoughts. We standing tall, looking forward, loving life, and feel it in the air when we take enough time, right? Concéntrate on the task at hand and remember, si se puede, meaning yes, we can. We gotta feel it to know it. When you know it, you got it. Y como dijo Bob Marley, el que lo siente lo sabe. Who feels it knows it. Thank you guys very much once again.
Hey, my God, look at them back there. You kids today with your Napster and your Pandora and your MP3s, my God, I'll just tell you back in the day what it was like. Yes, that's right. I see you reaching for, back in the day what it was like, man. You wanted to steal music back then. You had hitchhiked to the record store and shoplift it yourself. That was it. That was the whole thing. That was the whole deal there. Okay. Yeah, I got on BET, and for 2 years, the Live from LA was their central piece back then, and after the shoot, I was just part of the family. This Richard Robert Stockton. I was born in Bakersfield. My mother called me Dickie Bob. It doesn't get redder than this, okay? And there I am on BET, and I'm a member of the family. After a shoot one day, we went late, and the party starts happening. And on BET, on other TV stations, when it's over, everybody goes home and parties. On BET, when the shoot's over, they lock the doors. And people are showing up. The LA Sparks showed up. That's the WNBA team. And we're partying. 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody goes, let's go to an after-hours club down south. And everybody, let's go. And somebody goes, wait a minute. It's 2 o'clock. That's on South Central Avenue. What about Richard? And the center for the Los Angeles Sparks, this woman is powerful. She's 6 feet 5 inches tall. She pats me on the head. I'll take care of you, little white man. Yeah. I'm I'm a D-I-C-K-I-E-B-O-B, Sticky Icky Dicky Bob, the banjo MC. You never really kick it until you weeble wobble with the banjo tricky picky, Sticky Icky Dicky Bob. Hey, hey, hey. After World War II, my parents sealed the deal. I was born Richard Robert Stockton in Bakersfield. My mama called me Dickie Bob. She smoked Chesterfields. I'm a 1949 baby boomer for real. At 60 years old, what does midlife mean? I'm going to live past I'm 119. Back in the days, trying to look like Keith Richards. Now I'm trying not to look like Keith Richards. One guy laughed, and he knows who Keith. You guys really don't know who Keith Richards is, do you? You don't even have a. Oh my God, he's in a band called the Rolling Stones. They're really good. You ought to check it out sometime. Yeah, I made the producer laugh. See what I mean? All right, here it is. But I still drink hard. That is a funny joke, let me tell you. So I'm trying to look like Keith Richards, but now I'm trying not to look like Keith Richards. Yeah, see how funny that would have been? All right. But I still drink hard liquor to howl at the moon at midnight. Then I squint real hard and see it's a street light. Ow. Run cars off the road to make my meditation class. Love a boomer woman with a heart shape. Cause slowing down the is so fiddle-faddle, baby. If my heart burst when I got you, don't let my death get you addled. The baby boomer cowboy wants to die in the saddle. Hey, hey. Sticky Icky Dicky Bob in the house. I used to get speeding tickets no matter what I do. Now I'm fine on the freeway driving 62. Every year I get older, my advantages accrue. Hey, hey. Well, the reasons to go out with me are plenty. You could order off the senior menu at Denny's. If things should go from bad to worse in a hostage situation, they'd release me first. Hey, hey, hey. Well, I can take a nap when I bench press. Got my corn pads on. Yes, I dress to impress. My baby loves it when I buy her a dress with my senior discount at Ross Dress for Less. Ah. I bet you guys don't even know what day that is. Ow! It's Tuesday. 10% off for me and him. Not for you guys. Cartoon Network. We had to wait till Saturday morning for our cartoons, man. Yeah, imagine that. And that was our church. Well, losing brain tissue is such an advantage. I got my brain cells down to a number I can manage. Too sexy for my walker, too sexy for my walker. I'm too sexy for my walker, yeah, baby. I'm a D-I-C-K-I-E-B-O-B, Sticky Icky Dicky Bobber, the banjo MC. You never really kick it, tell you weeble wobble with the banjo tricky picky, Sticky Icky Dicky Bobber. Born Richard Robert Stockton, Bakersfield. My mama called me Dickie Bob before my brain congealed. I'm a feral child raised Republican for real. Then I moved to Santa Cruz and my spirit healed. One thing that our crowd over in Santa Cruz has done pretty well, the men have overcome that need to be success objects. Do you feel like you need to be a success object to be a man? No. Back in the day, I was looking out the window and I saw these little girls jumping rope to a rhyme, get this, about the man they're going to marry. Have you even heard that? You know which one I'm talking about? Do you know this jump rope? Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. Isn't that pretty sick? I mean, not in a good way, right? I ran out there and I took that rope and went, actress, heiress, social worker, nurse, Marry a woman with money in her purse. My girlfriend goes comic, poet, tells jokes in bars. Give me that boy who sleeps in his car. Man, I don't just sleep in my car. I wake up in the neighborhood of my choice. That's what I'm saying. Bumper sticker on my car says, if you lived here, you'd be home by now. I'm 64 years old. Been an entertainer all my life, but I have the resume of a man in his 20s. It's a sinker. It's a sinker. You'll get into that later. All right. Been married 26 years. Yeah, well, not in a row, but. C-K-I-B-O-B, Sticky Icky Dicky Bob, the banjo MC. You never really kick it till you weeble wobble with the banjo tricky picky, Sticky Icky Dicky Bob. Peace out. Yeah.